The Winter Olympics start in less than 6 months, which means you have just that amount of time to get ready for these games. Welcome back to Olympic Winter is Coming, the series where I will take you through everything you need to know in preparation to watch the games starting on February 6th. Today we are covering the basics on alpine skiing, and while I do think that is one of the more popular sports in the Winter Olympic Games, things are changing a little bit this year. So before we get into the basics and the changes that are coming, let's talk a little bit about the history of alpine skiing in the Winter Olympic Games. Modern alpine skiing was popularized in the late 19th century, after a Norwegian named Sondre Norheim started to popularize skiing. However, even though he popularized it back in the late 1800s, alpine skiing was not actually part of the very first Winter Olympic Games. The very first Winter Olympic Games took place in 1924, but alpine skiing didn't make its debut as an Olympic sport until the 1936 Games. And that year, we only had a single event. That was actually the combined event, which combined downhill and slalom for both men and women that year. And then a few games later, in 1948, we added two separate events, downhill and slalom for both men and women. From there, in 1952, we added the giant slalom, and in 1988, we added Super G. And now, if you've never heard of any of those events before, it's important to understand that alpine skiing can be split into two separate skill sets, speed and technical. Our speed events in alpine skiing are downhill and Super G. The big difference in these events versus a technical event is that the gates are more spread apart. So with the distances between gates being much larger, skiers are able to complete the course at a faster pace. Downhill is our fastest event, followed by Super G, and these events are timed, meaning that the fastest athlete wins. Then on the other side of things, you have technical events. These events are slalom and giant slalom. These events are more of a zigzag course, and skiers have to go through upright obstacles such as gates. These are curved races with much shorter distances between gates than our speed events, which require a large amount of technical skill to complete. And then we have an event that combines both technical and speed, and this is actually where the change is coming in. The event is conveniently known as Alpine Combined, and it's a team event this year called Team Combined. There will be a men's and a women's competition, and this team competition actually replaces two events that we used to have. Those are team parallel and individual combined races. So instead of having 11 medaling events in the 2026 Winter Olympics for alpine skiing, we will only have 10. Team Combined actually has two separate events that take place. The first event is a downhill, and the second event is a slalom, and these events take place as two separate races. The first event is participated in with one teammate, and the second event is participated in with the second teammate. The team that has the combined fastest time will win the event. In total, there will be 10 medaling events for alpine skiing in the Winter Olympics, meaning that we will give away 30 medals in this discipline. So if you have any questions about alpine skiing or about the Winter Olympics in general, be sure to drop those in the comments down below, and I will work the answers into this series. And of course, if you're excited about the Winter Olympics and want to learn more about them over the next 6 months, be sure to follow along so that you don't miss a single episode of Olympic Winter is Coming.